What's going down, everybody? It's your favorite homeboy Jethro, and these are some more of my opinions. So I had to give my dogs a little run around time, so let me show y'all. They're just they're out here enjoying the backyard. It's like the river's over that way, and there's the deer blind where, like you said, my buddies hunt. I don't really. Hi, baby D. Said I don't really like to hunt, but keep the deer population from starving in the winter, so that's where they do that at. But so I just wanted to make this video because it just seems like the world is hurting. There's just so much bad stuff. You turn on the news and it's just horror story after horror story after horror story, whether it's what went down in Texas, which that whole thing is just a nightmare for both families, and I feel like I'm watching the sequel to Natural Born Killers. Like, it's just crazy. So, you know, but and then the craziness at Florida State yesterday. Like, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there. You know, everybody. You know, it's always tucked in the back of your mind that you think it can happen, but do you really expect that when you woke up yesterday morning and had your coffee and your breakfast and you said goodbye to your loved ones and you gave your dogs a pat on the head, or you gave a family member a kiss on the cheek, and then you walked out the door, and that was the last time that you were ever gonna pass through that doorway? It's unthinkable. And you know, it's my heart and prayers just go out to everybody who's been affected by it. It's like, and you know, there's the opiate crisis in this country, people dropping like flies. You know, we went on a cruise to Alaska last year, and going to the airline, lost my luggage, and it was just a whole shit show of events that were not cool. And we had to go to downtown Vancouver to do some last minute shopping, like literally an hour before we got on the boat. And it was like walking through an episode of The Walking Dead. There's so many people walking around like zombies, just zonked out of their minds on fentanyl. And it's just, yeah, it's killing people. I read a message yesterday or earlier today of a guy who said, you know, it was his birthday yesterday, but he's in the grips of addiction and he doesn't know how to get out of it. And I answered back, you know, I get it. I was exactly where you were. And the hardest thing to do is to break the cycle. I mean, admitting you got a problem, reaching out for help is the first step, but then breaking the cycle, because get it, man, for over 14 years, just about every day, you say a prayer before you go to sleep, just saying, let me be healed from this affliction tomorrow when I wake up. And then you wake up and your first thought is, shit, I'm awake, I gotta go through this again. And it's no way to live. And then you let not only everybody in your life, your loved ones, and everybody you care about down, you let yourself down. And said I failed every day for, you know, around 14 years. And it beats you down. So, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, my guy. Like, make the call. Talk to a professional, get help. I tried cold turkey so many times, I couldn't do it. I white-knuckled it for every minute of sobriety that I had. And now medically assisted treatment has allowed me to lower my dose as the years have gone by, but I've had 5-6 really, really good years. I tell my wife, it's like, you know, the funny guy that was confident and had a purpose and a direction in life, you know, the guy that you fell in love with, he's back. You know, hi, I'm Jethro again. So it can work. You know, I'm not gonna lie and bullshit anybody. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but It's just like with gaining weight or any bad habit, man. You don't get fat overnight. It takes years to abuse your body and get to a place where you have to do something about it. And then fixing it doesn't happen overnight, but you just gotta put one foot in front of the other and start climbing out of that hole. And it's like I can sit here in my backyard, be totally at peace with myself, and look at the sunset and feel the breeze and not have it send me into withdrawal chills. There were so many days in the summer that I would sit inside and 90 degrees outside, and I'm in here shivering, like, and then 2 minutes later I'm hotter than if I was on the surface of Venus. Your blood pressure's all out of whack. You can't get comfortable, and the looming sickness is just sitting on your shoulder every second of every day, beating you down. I get it. I just watched a video of Anthony Kiedis talking about when he went to rehab in the 80s. And it was his last $10,000 he'd ever had in his life in the late 80s to go to rehab. And he said there were 30 dope fiends in the room. And the counselor looked at him and went, statistically, one of you is going to make it out. And Anthony Kiedis kind of laughed and was like, excuse me, fellas, I got to get to the front of that line because I'm taking that spot. That's how you gotta do it. No one's gonna say you can't be blackmailed, you can't be bargained, you can't be loved into it. You gotta want to change, and then do something about it. So, but again, some good things in my life are going on, some bad things in my life are going on, and guess what, everybody? Like, that's life. There's no magic pill that takes it away. There's no magic wand anybody can wave to take it away. It is what it is. And we got to, just try to be a good human being and do your best every day not to hurt anybody. I mean, is that so hard? I mean, I've never had children, and part of the reason was, oh my God, if something happened at the University of Kentucky like it did at Florida State today, and something happened to my kid, it would be my worst nightmare. Like right now, it's something would happen to my wife or my dogs. But I'd run into a burning building for any one of my dogs. They're my kids, but they're dogs. People are more important. I'm not saying dogs aren't important, but if you got a kid in the house and dogs in the house, you get the kid first. I mean, come on. Everybody knows that, or they should. Some people are assholes, and maybe you want to save the dog first, but you get the people first. So, but anyways, I wanted to send some good energy out into the world, and like I said, anybody struggling, I understand. If you, like I said, you think nobody in the world cares, I may not know you personally, but I care, because I know exactly what you're going through, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Nobody deserves to go through life living like that. People are understanding every day. More people are waking up, and I hope one day they just, like I said, legalize everything, regulate it. Because, like I said, the guys making it in their bathtubs or in, backyards or garages in Mexico or Afghanistan or China or wherever the hell the shit's being made. It's not pharmaceutical, and you have no idea what's in it, and that's why people are dropping like flies. And you can't stop people from doing it, so legalize it, tax it, and get people help. It's my opinion, but it's like, who would be hurt the most by that? The cartels and the crooked-ass politicians and police officers that let that shit flood our country. But that's a discussion for another day. So, like you said, to all my brothers and sisters in active addiction, I love y'all. I'm thinking of you. I'm praying for you, and there's help out there. So I'm going to now enjoy a little playtime and maybe roll around in the grass and wrestle with my dogs, because that's what days like this were made for. So I love y'all. This is Jethro, man. Be good or be good at it.